What's up YouTube? Houston here, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Now, for those of you that's always following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, double salute. Now, for those of you that don't have no credit or have real bad credit and you're trying to get a loan, this is probably some of the fortunately the best places that you can possibly turn to get a loan. So if you don't have no credit or you have real bad credit, this video is going to help you. Now, you may be trying to get some money to start some online real estate investing, or you may be trying to buy into some cryptocurrency because the market has took a dip. You just trying to buy a little car from the auction so you can get into the Toro business. But nonetheless, this video is going to help you. Now, the first company is MONEYMUTUAL. And let me help you all understand. Because you may not have no credit or you have very bad credit, you have to understand that these companies, they're going to have high interest rates. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But let's go back to talking about MONEYMUTUAL. The minimum score, you don't have to have a credit score to deal with them. Now, you have to have an income. The average income is about $800. You can borrow up to $5,000. Okay, and you do have to have a checking account. Um, Here's the interesting thing about it. Even if you had like a check that bounced in the past, or you may have been in check systems, MONEYMUTUAL's platform may be able to help you to get a loan. Okay, so don't think that you still can't get help even though you may be in check systems. Now, here's another company. It's OPORTUN Personal Loans. Now, I did a full video about OPORTUN. So if you want to actually see that video, put a comment below and I'll send that video over to you. Now, here's the thing about OPORTUN. They work with people with no credit score or limited credit history. Okay, so here's another thing that you have to understand. Although they're not in every state, I think they average maybe about 13 or 15 states that they're in. But if you are a new customer, you can borrow anywhere from 300 up to 6,000, and then returning customers can borrow from 6,000 to 10,000. They don't do a hard inquiry on your credit file. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that extra inquiry and stuff because you're already at the bottom when you look dealing with these type of lenders. Okay, and so you have to be making at least $500 a month. Now, there's another lender out there, bad credit loans. Now, with bad credit loans, they are a network. Okay, they are a network, and you can borrow up to $10,000. And so they work with people with no credit or credit scores below 500. Now, here's the thing about it. If you don't know your credit score, when you're filling out the application, make sure you click on the button that says not sure. It's in the drop down. It'll say not sure. And so that way, since you don't know your credit score, they know what lenders to actually help you get qualified, okay? Now, here's OneMain Financial, and I also did a video on this here company as well. So if you actually want to see the full video of this, put a comment below. But again, they don't do a hard inquiry, they do a softball. But you have to have a bank account. Now, their loans go anywhere from 1,500 up to 20,000. Now, in the video I explained that if you're trying to go over 5,000, sometimes you don't have a strong income. Sometimes they want to collateralize your title of your vehicle. Okay, so just keep that in mind with dealing with OneMain Financial. The interest rates again is high. They have origination fees, but hey, if you don't have no credit, you have bad credit, and you just trying to get out of a jam, it's one of those things you have to suck it up and just move on, get the money and do the best you can to pay it back as quick as possible. Okay, It isn't one of those things you just dwell on. Hey, I gotta pay it. No, just pay it back and move on. The minimum income is about 45,000. Now that doesn't mean that you have to be making 45,000. All right, that's just their average income. All right, and like I said, they do charge origination fees. Now, this company here is Upstart Personal Loans, okay? Now, you don't have to have a credit history, but the average credit score is between the 620 to 660. Now, the reason that I say that, I'll explain it in a minute, but the minimum income you have to have is at least 12,000. So you have to either have a full-time job or you've been on your job at least 6 months. So like if you're working like with DoorDash, Instacart, things of that nature that can actually show proof that you have income, they can help you. All right. So don't think that, well, I work as an independent contractor, so I can't find a loan. They can actually help you. And I'll tell you another thing. If you are an independent contractor, if you're doing like Toro, DoorDash, Instacart, or something like that, and you're working under your social, you're actually losing money. And the reason is because you're going to end up paying more money in taxes. So if you want to understand how to restructure yourself so that you can pay less taxes and keep money in your pocket, then check out Three-Way Funding or Houston McMiller by clicking the link in the description, because that's so important, especially as independent contractors trying to get money. And because if you set the company up right, not only are you able to qualify for business loans, but you're also able to qualify for personal loans. So you can get both sides of the spectrum versus just one side because you're only working under your social. So that's the reason it helps you make more money. Now their loan amounts with Upstart is from 1,000 to 50,000. Now here's something that's interesting about them. The reason they don't focus on the reason they don't focus on the FICO score as much, okay, because they use other data points. So your college education. So even if you don't have a college education, that does not disqualify you with them, okay? But your job history, your residency, those type of things is what they look for us. Those type of metrics is help them. Now they pull from if they do check the credit score, they'll more likely pull from the Experian um, FICO 9. Okay, and the reason that I'm bringing it up because I have some things to help you build up your credit score uh, less than 45 days. So stick with me because it's going to help you. Now, you do have to have a bank account. You also have to have a valid email. Now, if they do a soft pull on the credit, like I said, without putting the inquiry on the credit, they're going to use third-party companies like Clarity, which is owned by Experian. They may use DataX, which is owned by Equifax, or Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. Okay, so when you hear a company say we don't do a hard credit pull and stuff, they do check other third-party creditors to see what's going on with you. All right. Now the good thing about it, they're in all 50 states. And the reason that's good is because a lot of people in like New York and stuff, it's hard for them to find lenders and stuff because New York is like one of the strictest states to actually get like a personal loan or a payday loan or something like that. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this here with you. Now, also in terms of proof of income, they just looking at maybe like your bank statements or if you have like tax returns or something like that. All right, sometimes they won't even verify the income, but the thing about it is the better the documentation, the more money. Just keep that in mind. The better the documentation, the more money. Now, if you're a person that don't have no credit, you have real bad credit, and you're trying to boost your credit score up at least within the next 45 days, this is the strategy you need. All right. First, you want to sign up with companies like Grow Credit or Perch. The reason is because most people, they are paying some type of subscription, whether it's Hulu, Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music, uh, your car insurance, your gym membership. You may be paying some type of subscription that can actually turn into a trade line for you, a primary trade line for you, but you just don't know how to report it. So these are the companies that you want to use to sign up with. So those subscriptions that you're actually paying, you can actually make it a positive trade line on your personal credit file to help boost up your credit score. Now you can also use, again, because we're talking about loans, like with pledge loans, credit builder loans. Some of the best ones is probably through your credit union. Okay, I love the credit union because they're so flexible and everything. Now you also got Experian Boost. Now here's the thing about Experian Boost. Some people don't like them. So they say, well, they don't give me enough points, because they may only give you like 12 to 25 points. Hey, I'll take it. But if any of you guys are using Experian Boost, put a comment below. Let me know how many points did it actually help your credit score. All right. But here's another thing, removing inquiries. Some of you guys, because you may have real bad credit, you tried to get a car loan, they put a lot of inquiries on your credit file and stuff. Those inquiries can be removed easily. Okay, some of them can be removed within 24 hours with the credit bureaus. Experian, 24 hours. With TransUnion, Equifax, you actually have to send in identification and verifying it's you in order for them to remove them. Now, also to help build up the credit score, especially on your FICO 9, is your authorized users. Your authorized users will definitely help you increase your credit score. Now, for those guys, if since we're talking about no credit and really bad credit, that means that more likely you're going to be using your debit card a lot, correct? So since that's the case, if you sign up, if you download the app, the extra debit card app, or check out One Financial, okay? One Financial. Those two companies, they will report your debit card transaction as a positive trade line on your credit also. So that's the thing about it. So since you have no credit, or you have very bad credit, of course you're going to be end up using your debit card. So at least let those debit card transactions actually report as a positive trade line to help boost up your credit score. Now, if you're paying rent and you're using your debit card, I would tell you, don't pay rent with a money order. Stop that. And I'm going to tell you why. If you use your debit card to pay the rent and making it as a transaction, don't pay cash anymore. Use your debit card, okay? um if you need to use your debit card, they said, well, we only take checks or money orders. Then what you want to do is sign up with a company called Plastic and send them a payment for rent through there. The reason is companies like Boom Pay, Rental Karma, as well as Perch. Okay, Perch will report up to 6 months of rental history. Boom Pay states that they'll report up to 24 months. Rental Karma, they'll report as well. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, especially if you're trying to build up your credit score, this is how you get the positive trade lines. Not only that, having rent reported on your credit file will also help you qualify for a mortgage. So that's the reason you don't want to pay your rent in cash anymore. I don't care if you're a roommate with somebody and you're sharing the rent, don't give them cash no more. Sign up with companies like Plastic, or or something like that, so that way you can actually have it documented you paid them rent. Because if you just give them cash, and then they're paying the rent, you don't have no credit history. You don't have nothing proving that you actually paid them rent, right? So that's the reason you don't want to give your roommates cash anymore on the rent. All right, because you're trying to build up your credit so that you not only can get better interest rates on your personal loans, but better credit cards, as well as qualifying for a mortgage. All right. Now, if you have any questions about that, building your credit up and stuff like that, you can again click the link in the description, set up a consultation. Now, this company here, if you an individual that just has high debt to income ratio, okay, you just have a high debt to income ratio, and it's up to about 75%, below 75%. This company here, Universal Credit, all right, they're one of the better lenders to deal with because their average credit score is a 638. Now, if you have a 560 at the minimum, average is 638. Okay. Now your income, average income is 60,000, but you do not have to be making 60,000 in order to qualify for a loan through them. Now their loans go anywhere from 1,000 up to 50,000. All right. So the minimum number of accounts you actually have to have on your credit report, again, is at least 2 accounts for them. Now, like I said, your debt to income ratio with a company like this is 75%, and that's including paying your mortgage payment or rent payment, okay? So that's why adding those other trade lines to be able to qualify for more loans, more credit cards with better interest rates.